Good afternoon. Welcome to the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners public hearing. It is August 2nd, a Tuesday. It is 3:00 p.m. on the nose. My name is Ty Menser, Vice Chair of the Board of County Commissioners. To my left is Commissioner Gary Edwards. Commissioner Carolina Mejia is excused this afternoon. We have a public hearing regarding adoption of ordinance to amend Section 2.130.030 of the Thurston County Code. The purpose of today's hearing is to accept and consider public comment on the proposed ordinance relating to the Public Records Index and costs for providing copies of public records. This is a hybrid public hearing. Those wishing to testify have joined in person by Zoom, emailed in comment, or mailed in comment. If you wish to testify, you can visit the Thurston County homepage online, select announcements of public hearings on the left-hand side. The information to join this public hearing remotely has been posted there. If you do not wish to testify but would like to listen and follow along, please watch the live stream through the Thurston County YouTube channel to help us manage attendance. Under Sheriff Ray Brady will provide some background information on this topic. Assuming I will call for anyone in the boardroom, anyone on Zoom will be called, and if you wish to testify, your name will be read. You do not need to sign up in advance. You will have 4 minutes to testify. Time may not be given to another person. When you are called on, please state your name and area of the county in which you reside for the record. Public hearing is now open. Under Sheriff Brady will present background information of the proposed ordinance, talk about any written comments that he's received or any additional information that may be requested by the board. Good afternoon, Under Sheriff.
Hey, good afternoon, Commissioners and Assistant County Manager. Appreciate you having me here today. So this public hearing today is regarding a request for an amendment to Section 2.130.030 of the Thurston County Code relating to fees that are charged for public records. And specifically, the amendment addresses fees that would be charged in relation to body-worn camera footage. So earlier this year, the Commission approved funding for body-worn cameras. Our office is in progress of doing all of the behind-the-scenes things that are needed for that in order for that to be a successful program. In addition to those cameras, we were also awarded funding for 2 FTEs, which increased our FTE employees to 4. We have 4 full-time employees now just doing public records requests. Specific to body-worn cameras, under RCW 4256-240, that is the specific RCW that relates to body-worn cameras and the PDR requests that come associated with that. We have done extensive work between our office and the prosecuting attorney's office specific to these requests, and have come up with a fee structure that would be appropriate and is actually less than what would most likely be allowed by law, and that is to do actual costs. We base the fee based off the salary of the lowest employee that is in the public records unit to then generate a per minute fee that would be charged on that. So that's what we're requesting to charge as a fee. We would also be required to use the least costly commercially available method of redacting that. So there's a software program that we will use that will help to expedite that process. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have regarding that. There are also specifics in the laws as far as who we can and cannot charge. And so we will be following that as well for those specific things on there. But that's where we're at for this request, is to be able to make that amendment to the county code to be allowed to charge the fees associated with those.
Commissioner Edwards, anything?
Under Sheriff, any chance you could elaborate a bit on why you need to redact certain information and maybe the type of information for the public that may be watching?
Yeah, absolutely. I won't cover all of them, but there are several different areas that are extremely sensitive. So the inside of someone's residence, anything that would identify where their residence is located or GPS coordinates, any kind of interviews with certain groups of victims, specifically sexual assault victims or other sensitive areas, anything dealing with minors. So there's just a lot of things that we want to be transparent to the public in what is being recorded on those videos, but at the same token, we still want to make sure that we're respecting the rights and the privacies of all of the citizens of the county that would be captured on those footage. So there's a whole list of different things that would be exempt or allowed to be redacted, but those are some of the more typical ones that, you know, as a resident, you would have a concern if somebody was, you know, if you were the victim of a burglary and a deputy came to your residence and filmed the entire inside of your residence while they were doing their investigation, for then that information to be released to the public through that. So there are definitely things that we want to consider and make sure that we're respecting people's rights as far as the privacy.
I guess I might just follow up on the fact that accountability is what the public really wants. And this gives them access. But at the same time, we need to protect mainly victims, mainly of the activities that led up to why they may have called law enforcement in the first place. So the community will have a better handle about the interactions that law enforcement has with the citizens out there. And I want to compliment Sheriff Snaza for making this a priority as part of his platform for open government, I guess, to make sure that the public did know what deputies are doing on a regular basis out there. It's just that it's one of the costs of doing business when you're in a situation where you have to go through every deputy's camera footage that might be involved in a particular situation that's been requested. And that's the reason, I think, for all the extra time it takes to accomplish this. So accountability comes with a cost. So thank you for thinking this out.
Yeah, since you just brought that up, I mean, when I worked as an attorney in Alaska, everything was audio recorded. Not quite the same, but a lot more recordings were made. And it really just helped on both ends. What it showed the public was that, you know, the vast majority of all the interactions were professional and appropriate, constitutional, et cetera. But then for the few, very few that weren't, then you actually had objective evidence and you could hold someone accountable because you could actually show it. It wasn't just he said, she said, which, you know, just is not, you know, it's difficult for judges to make sense out of those situations. So it really just helped on both sides, improved public trust, and also allowed us to fine tune and hold officers accountable. So excited that we have this tool and hope do everything we're trying to do everything we can to help you guys implement it seamlessly. I know this is really difficult when I think about the redaction effort that's involved for what you describe. It's going to take a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, well, we definitely would like to thank the commission as well for not only the funding of the cameras, but in recognizing the difficulty that the staff faces with these type of redactions. So the addition of FTEs is also, we're hugely thankful for that as well.
It had to be. Okay, well, there's no one in the boardroom. That's pretty clear. We do have Knut Lehman. Are you listening in, sir, or did you want to provide testimony?
Sir, I'm just listening. No testimony for me. Thank you.
Very good. Then I think we don't have anybody because there's no other folks on Zoom. So is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Maybe prior to the motion, I will say this is not a very controversial issue. And I think it's, by a lack of presence, that pretty well verifies that. So I think the public will be enthused about this. And yes, I am prepared to make a motion, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
I would move to close this public hearing.
And I'll second that. I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards, sorry. Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia is excused.
All right. That closes the public hearing. Thank you, Under Sheriff Brady. And do you want to make a motion to act on this, or are we?
I am prepared to do so. I don't know what our seatmate, if, was there any correspondence or anything? She didn't have any
If I
concerns.
have heard any concern from Commissioner Mejia, or if we'd had conflicting evidence public, I might suggest we wait, but I really don't think that we need to do that under the circumstances.
Okay. I would move to approve the ordinance that amends Thurston County Code 2.130.030, Public Records Index and costs for providing copies of public records, to allow for charges for body-worn camera records to be the actual costs as authorized in the Public Records Act, Chapter 42.56 RCW.
I'll second that motion. So we have a motion and a second to approve this ordinance. And any further discussion on the motion?
No, sir.
Call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia is excused.
Okay, that motion carries. We're done. We're adjourned.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Back at 4 p.m. for a special meeting of the Board of Health.